Yeah, you feeling it?
I rolled it.
All right, cool.
Well, John, congratulations on a successful title defense at heavyweight. So, I guess, you know, like you talked at Media Day, fighting in Madison Square Garden was important to you, fighting in New York, fighting Stipe. So, now that you got through it in like such impressive fashion, I guess, what are the emotions now?
I feel really, really great. You know, I haven't watched the fight yet, but based on my team's reactions, you know, they said, John, you performed great. Being out there, you want things to go perfect. Nothing ever goes perfect in the cage. You're not going to land every shot. You're going to get hit. But I feel really good. I just can't wait to watch it. Yeah. It's hard to say what my reaction is. You know, I've won a lot of world championships, so it's a very familiar feeling. But I am very, very grateful. So grateful.
You said not everything goes perfect in there, so I guess relative to what the game plan you guys put together and how it played out, is that relatively how you saw it? Like the trip at the beginning, the elbows, the 12-6 we saw in there?
Yeah. The coaches definitely wanted me to find that 12-6 elbow. I wish I could have landed it more legit. Stephen did a really good job with his defense and the bottom. The trip was completely unexpected. It was a takedown that just kind of came to me at the moment. And I was grateful to have been able to pull that off. One thing that I'm really excited about was that spinning back kick. Yeah. That was one thing I'm really excited about. I have amazing coaches at Brandon Gibson, Greg Jackson, Coach Alex, Coach Aaron. I'm just naming some of my striking coaches right now. I really want to give a shout out to my Taekwondo coach, a guy named Paige Bates from Albuquerque, New Mexico. His family owns Bates Taekwondo in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We started about 6 months ago. We started doing the spinning back kick. He would come over to my house 3 days a week, and I've worked that same kick from both stances 3 hours a week for several months. And Bruce Lee says that he doesn't fear the man that knows 10,000 kicks, but the man who has worked one kick 10,000 times. And I put a lot of work in with that spinning back kick, and it's getting faster and more unpredictable. There's really no tell when it's coming, and it's a devastating shot. You know, I didn't hit Stipe's liver. I hit him on the opposite side, but I mean, it sends shockwaves through a person's body. It can break a rib. It's just a really powerful shot. So I'm really proud of landing that shot after so many hours of working it. Shout out to you, Paige.
And then throughout the fight, especially at the beginning, it looked like that jab was really frustrating him. And then the kicks to the body, just by the time he finished it, it looks like it had taken so he was getting slower and slower and slower. Was that just the plan to just like methodically break him down until he just can't really add his element?
Yeah, my goal was to, I really wanted to Stipe. You know, he beat Daniel Cormier with that left hook to the liver. He did it over and over again. And I really wanted to hit him with that same shot, but once I felt his punching power, I didn't want to lean to the right, or my left. I didn't want to be by his right side at all, because catching one of his straight rights could end your night. And so instead of working that left hook to the body like we planned, I worked deep into the body and the spinning kicks and jabbing to the body, and it worked out great. I watched his DC fight, and we noticed that Stipe can take punishment. He's a nightmare. He's a nightmare. You can hit him and hit him and hit him, and he shows no emotion. And I think that's why he's a 6-time world champion. But yeah, I mean, we put him down, and I'm grateful.
You announced he was retiring. He said, I'm retiring, I'm hanging him up. Did you get a chance to talk to him after the fight?
No, I didn't get a chance to talk to him. I spoke to every one of his coaches at different times, some in Octagon, some backstage, and they're all very respectful men. Again, you can see why Stipe is such a long-time champion. He has a really solid group of men around him.
And Dana was in here, and you know, you said if the Tom fight, you want to be well compensated. Dana said his quote was, "He will be, but he knows you're going to disappear. He probably won't hear from you. We won't hear from you, and then when you want to talk, you'll quote emerge and talk with Dana and Hunter." So I guess what is your plan moving forward for the next few weeks?
I'm not really worried about the Tom fight. I'm really worried about the Pereira fight. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do, and I think if the UFC wants to have me back, then I think that's the fight they'll make. I've been really clear about my intentions. That's what I want. And I mean, I just feel like anybody would understand at this point. Like, you know, I'll retire the heavyweight belt if I have to. It's like, dude, give the guy what he wants at the end of the day, you know? And I'm not talking to Dana directly, I feel like I'm at a place now where, you know, like I want to take what I find to be super fights. I don't want to fight dangerous up-and-comers anymore. I want to fight dangerous, established champions. So it's time to have the heavyweight championship. I don't really care about it. That my body doesn't lie in belts anymore. I've created something much bigger. I want Pereira.
Dana was in here and he said that he would really like not to make the Pereira fight, but if you and Alex did hound him, he would consider it. But he said that realistically, that's not a fight he wants to see because he thinks your skills with the wrestling and the size would sort of outweigh what Pereira has to offer. I'm curious what you think about Dana's take on that.
Man, styles mix matchups, and I'm sure Pereira's knocked out many heavyweights in his day. I mean, he has a knockout power that transcends, like, it's bigger than weight. Pereira's special, and for me, it'd just be worth my while fighting against Pereira. You know, people can call me a duck and a chicken. I'm gonna go home and cash a massive check. And so the duck and chicken thing is kind of funny. Yeah, that's kind of what I want. And if it doesn't line up, then professing my love for Jesus in front of everybody tonight, and telling the world how proud I am to be an American champion, and fighting in front of my president, man, if that was my last fight ever, then I'm cool with that. That was the way to do it. I did the Donald Trump. That was the way to do it, man. So I think one of the really good things about negotiating is being willing to walk away from a deal. And that's the deal that I want. And if that's not what the fans want, I guess I'll say sayonara.
You mentioned about sometimes you would hit Stipe and he'd show no reaction. In the first round, I actually couldn't believe he showed no reaction to the elbows or the fact that he wasn't cut. When you were landing those elbows, were you a little bit surprised? Like, what is this guy actually made of here?
You know, it was weird, bro. Standing in front of him, his head seemed massive. Like, seriously, like, I'm not trying to insult him. His head seemed massive. It was like a video game character. I'm like, I've never seen anything like this, you know? I had to get past that. I'm like, what is this? And then when I would hit him, it just seemed like he didn't feel a doggone thing. You know, he just showed no reaction. I think a lot of fighters would have quit getting that level of ground and pound, but he has this ability to just take shots. And I started to know as the time was going on that his body was going to be the only way to victory. And I started to really look for the body shots.
Two more quick ones from me. You know, obviously you mentioned about the disrespect Stipe has shown you, and you mentioned the clip of him talking about your children. There's been a clip going around online of him on a podcast, I think, with Rampage Jackson. Was that the clip you were referring to?
No. It was him in his living room, and I don't remember exactly how it was said, but pretty much what he was saying was, when my kids look back on me and my past, at least my kids will never think that I'm an asshole. And the MMA fan base, they're good. I know they're gonna find it. And I wouldn't make that up. And even if I did make it up, it's the fight business. If I need to hype myself up, I'll hype myself up. But the truth is, he did say it. He did call me a bitch. And tonight I made him pay for it.
And last one for you. You mentioned training the spinning back kick for 3 hours a week and stuff. Did you do that because you thought, oh, this will work on Stipe, or did you just fancy adding something cool to your arsenal and wanted to work on it?
I realized that I did the spinning back kick pretty naturally from the southpaw stance. I can't call it natural. I spent many years working with Brandon Gibson on that move. But I wanted to make it better. I realized that the spinning kick is a move that can drop an elephant if you do it right. It's a devastating move, in my opinion, the most powerful kick in martial arts. And you know, we've all seen me fight for a while now. I don't really have one punch knockout power. So my mind was, John, why not develop a technique that could stop any man? And I came up with the spinning back kick. And I mean, you can be any fighter. And if I catch you just right, you're going down, no matter how well trained you are. So I'll continue to work it, and I'll have some, I'm just going to continue to work it. I'm sure all future opponents saw that, and it was just like, that could easily happen to me. So I'm going to work it more and more and more.
John, both of your brothers were in the NFL. You're the greatest of all time. I want to know, honest answer, who do you believe is the best athlete out of you and your brothers?
Best athlete, Chandler. My little brother, Chandler. Chandler's an extraordinary human being. He's a really special young man. I love him to death. And yeah, Chandler's a freak. If he decided to be an MMA fighter, I think he'd do very well. He's a very dedicated athlete.
And speaking of your family, your mother would be so proud of you today. I want to know, if you look back from, when she passed to now, I'd like to know, like, how much have you felt you've grown as a person, and how proud would she be of you, and what would she think of how you did today?
My mom used to worry about me. I was the one son that she stayed up all night. I was the first one to stop coming home at night, spending the night, staying out at parties. My mom used to worry about me a lot. She used to pray for me a lot. And I know for a fact that she'd be incredibly proud of the man that I'm turning into. I can't say turned into because we are all works in progress, but the man that I'm turning into, I know for a fact she would be very proud. I shouldn't say she would be, I know for a fact that she is very proud of me. I actually had a dream about her this morning where I was hanging out with my dad, and we kind of got sick of each other. And so I was like, I'm going to go call Mom. And the moment that I was heading to call my mom, I woke up this morning. And I know that was a dream that was meant for me today, just to let me know that I can talk to her. And it was a beautiful thing. I was at breakfast with my team, and I was just crying. I was just crying this morning, just thinking about my mother. And my mom used to be in the audience saying, "Johnny, get him, Johnny." And I felt her today. I really felt my mom today. She was here with me today. It was a really beautiful day. Thank you for giving me the chance to acknowledge her.
John, right here. You've always been a visionary of the big things. You talk about the fight against Alex. Have you envisioned a place, a perfect location for that fight?
No, I haven't. There's so many questions when it comes to what's going to happen as far as Alex and Tom and my future. I can't even think about it right now. All I want to do right now is take my team out and get them the biggest stakes in New York City. These guys deserve it. They deserve ice cold beer or whatever they want, because they have really committed to me so much. My team is an amazing group of men, amazing group. And that's all I want right now, is see them happy.
I just got two real quick ones, but just for suggesting you just won here in New York City. The last 2 years before that, he won here in New York City, so there's a lot of history right there.
With Pereira?
Yeah, I mean, he won 2 years in a row headlining here, and then you just won here, so.
The one thing that's really cool is that I'm noticing that the fans are starting to shift. They're like, wait a minute. This Pereira fight is absolutely massive as well. And that's cool. I'm glad that you guys are seeing it.
So two quick ones. You talk about your team. You kind of amassed this like dream team for this camp. One of the guys that was in your team was Gable Stephan. I mean, I think the world would love to see that guy come to MMA. You chirping him or anything? Kind of suggesting him to come over?
Gable has everything that it takes. One of his first days at practice, one of my teammates got injured sparring with me, and Gable was like, I'll go in. I'm like, Gable, you might want to learn how to block and, defend yourself first. It can be a lot more difficult than what it seems, but that let me at that moment know that he is very game. I need him in the face at one of his very first practices. He ate it, and he looked like a little kid, like he just developed a new toy. He's going to be scary. He's going to be very scary when he decides to do MMA. He knows how to make men appear very weak. I'm not, me being one of them. And when he learns how to box and learns a little about jiu-jitsu, it's not a matter of if he'll become a UFC champion, it's when he'll be a UFC champion. And whether he trains in Albuquerque with our family or finds a different team, whoever has him, I'm going to be really blessed to have him. He's an asset.
So my last question, obviously in media days, there's a lot of sound bites is what everyone likes hearing. The big sound bite this week was you saying you wouldn't want to do business with Tom Aspinall. You said he's an asshole. A lot of people in the media kind of laughed about that, and even the U.S. broadcast is saying, like, what are you talking about? Tom Aspinall's the nicest guy on the planet. He never disrespects Jon. He says nice things about Jon. So what specifically has he said or done to make him an asshole?
There's just a lot of people on his nuts right now.
But what's he done though?
Coming up with Jon Jones t-shirts, buying a little duck, and just the little shit that he does. He's annoying to me. He's annoying to me. And that's my own personal, he annoys me. I get to you guys, you find it entertaining, but I find him annoying. And I just don't like him. And at the end of the day, if I give him the opportunity to fight me, I want to be so compensated. I want to say I want that fuck you money, honestly. And that's just what it is. That's just what it is. Or else, my life is perfect without him. I don't need him at all, and he needs me. And that's a good place to be in a negotiation. So.
I'm sorry, one more question. You love Muhammad Ali, you talked about him a lot. A lot this week was comparing this fight and the Ali Frazier, you being the Ali side. What does that mean to you?
I don't know. I don't try to be Muhammad Ali. You know, I really want to be the best Jon Jones that I can be, and I really feel like I'm doing it right. You know, I'm really proud of marching to the beat of my own drum. It really feels good. I'm doing it my way. I'm doing it my way, and it feels good. I mean, you see athletes stick around too long, and I don't want to be one of those guys, man. I just want to win in every form. I want to win in the record books. I want to win financially. I just want to win, and there's a lot of people that piss off right now, and it just lets me know that I'm doing it right. I'm doing it my way. It should only make sense to me. It should only feel good to me. And right now it does. I know I didn't answer your question, but I just wanted to say that.
Jon, down here in the middle. Down here in the middle. I know you said that you'd be willing to walk away from negotiations if your demands aren't met. I know you haven't made those demands yet. But have you set a timeline for when you want those negotiations to have been concluded by?
I don't even want to call them demands. You know, I don't want to put the wrong energy in the room when it comes to Dana. I respect Dana so much. He changed my life completely. I don't want to call it demands. I'm not demanding anything. I'm not trying to run anything. I'm not trying to boss anyone. I'm just clearly like letting people know my intentions. And whenever Dana wants me to fight is when I'll fight. You know, as long as we can come to an agreement. You know, I really want to make that clear. Like, I don't want to go there with the word demand. Respectfully, Dana and I have been closer now than we've ever been before. And as a young man, well, not even a young man anymore, as a man, I want to respectfully have a conversation with him and see if we see eye to eye. And if we do, I'll fight whenever he tells me to.